All right, folks. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. We appreciate everybody who's joining us. We've got a little bit of mix of attendees here today. We have some of our clients here. Thank you very much for your business so far. We also have some of our partner channel agents that are on the broadcast today. So again, thank you. We wouldn't be here without you guys bringing us business, and clients. We wouldn't be here if you wouldn't allow us and have trust in BullsEye to be your service provider. So thank you very much. We hope you enjoy what we've got in line today. I'm pretty excited about it. We're going to be talking about a lot of the tech stuff that's going on inside BullsEye, and maybe even Clayton in the future. We might want to talk about some of the stuff that we're not allowed to talk about, but there's a lot of really neat things that we're getting into that are the much more bits and bytes stuff that's out there, as there's a bleed that goes from communications to technology. It used to be, you used to have people that were responsible for, the voice services, maybe people that were responsible for network, maybe people that were responsible for security, and that's all coming together. And that's kind of what we're talking about today, is the integration of all those things coming together into one warehouse. My LinkedIn post was, we have all these different bricks that are out there, and it's really, who can put the mortar together and stack all of them and make sure that they work and integrate together. So that's kind of what the very high level of what our topic is today. My name is Chris Otenbaker. I'm Vice President Corporate Accounts here at BullsEye. I've been with the company for about 10 years, and my team's responsible for retention of existing customers that are out there. And Clayton is joining us. He's, again, Clayton, what is the current title?
Currently, it's product engineer.
Product engineer.
Yeah.
I'd go with senior, because you've been with us for quite a long time. You're the one that gets to play with all the new technology that we get to try out. So you want to give everybody just a quick, you were actually on one of I think our very first happy half hours.
Yep,
so
remote worker toolkit. Yeah.
Yep. But
yeah.
Clayton, you want to give maybe the quick 30-second story on you?
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Chris. As Chris mentioned, I've been with BullsEye a little under 4 years. My 4-year anniversary is coming up the end of June. I started at BullsEye as a sales engineer, and was asked to join the engineering team when we started our new product program. So I've been a product engineer for a little over 3 years, and as Chris said, I'm responsible for working with our agents and our customers and our sales folks to identify new products, new solutions for BullsEye and our customers, and then bringing them to market so you guys can order them and benefit from them.
So not sure on who everybody is that's on the call here today, but Clayton will be joining us for some of those discovery calls. He provides feedback back to our engineering organization, as well as a liaison to you, the partner community, the client community. So glad to have you joining us here, Clayton. Just before we get started, I do want to just share, we've really invested some time into our LinkedIn and social accounts that are out there. We try to follow all of our customers and all of our partners that are out there, see what's going on in your world, ask you to give us a look, give us a follow. We're not doing just BullsEye commercials. We're trying to share information in regards to what's going on in the industry, what's going on regulatory wise, other noteworthy articles that are out there in regards to not just communications, but just technology in general, because again, that there's a big a bleed from just the communications all the way down to monitoring, IoT. We've got an opportunity right now that we're working on where cameras are integrating to smartwatches to find when cars are coming up for curbside delivery. So there's a lot of cool things that we're working on, and we're going to jump right in here, Clayton. So I'm going to go ahead and advance us here, and I'm going to let you take it away.
Thanks, Chris. So today we're here to kind of talk to you about different products that can augment or replace POTS, and really the future of telecom in a obviously ever evolving and improving technological world. We definitely all love POTS. It's what started BullsEye, and still a large part of our business. But there's several disadvantages right now to POTS. Currently, I'm sure most of the agents on the call know, tariffs, fees, pricing is changing regularly. Lex don't want to sell POTS lines. That's the bottom line. The FCC has started working to set down ground rules and potentially dates involved in sunset of POTS. So while they're still out there and they're still available, they're going away eventually. It will happen. So we're here today to talk about some alternatives and replacement products, as well as some things that come along with that technology to replace it that can improve your business and things as far as communication. So the topics we're going to talk about today, obviously VoIP. That's pretty much a staple product these days. Some other ones, SMS, UCAS, and then contact center. So we'll touch on each one of those in some detail and tell you what they can do for your business. So VoIP, obviously that stands for Voice over IP. What that really means, you're going to get your dial tone over the internet. You're not going to have copper pairs coming into your building. The internet brings you your dial tone. Some of the advantages of VoIP, you can take your phone anywhere. You can move it anywhere there's an internet connection. You can take it with you when you travel. You know, in this world we're living in right now, when BullsEye decided to go remotely, I brought my phone from my desk home, plugged it into my cable modem router, and I was working just like I was sitting at my desk. So the portability is fantastic. You gain features that are included in most VoIP offerings that normally would cost you extra with POTS. Call forwards, auto attendance, voicemail, things that, you know, are additional features with a POTS line generally are included in VoIP. Disaster recovery is probably the single most advantage when it comes to VoIP. If your internet's down, if your power goes out, if you can't work at your office for some reason, VoIP can automatically redirect anywhere. Another physical location, a cell phone, a voicemail box, and it can be set up to do that automatically. You don't have to be proactive and do that. You can set that up ahead of time. My internet's down and you can't get to my phone, send it to my cell phone, or send it to the store's manager. Something like that is very easy, but it's probably one of the biggest features that people take advantage of with VoIP. Reporting is another fantastic one. POTS lines, you really get a statement at the end of the month that tells you who you called and how long you talked to them. With VoIP, you can have all kinds of extra parameters like how long did it take to answer, if there's an auto attendant involved, how many options did the person choose before they got to a caller, were they put on hold, did they get transferred? All of those things are available with VoIP call reporting. And then ultimately, you get phone system-like features, but it's cloud-based. So your hold, your transfer, intercom, all of those things that come along with a on-prem phone system like a PBX, they're included with most VoIP offerings.
So, you know, two quick stories. One, I'll say your first comment there about take your phone with you anywhere. So I'm going to do something I haven't done before, but this is my workstation right now. Obviously, I don't have a phone anywhere. I am, you know, just obviously most of my calls are just being done right from my computer. So the evolution of VoIP is, you know, the first step is being able to take your phone everywhere, and then the next step is no phone at all. Is the evolution, and then, you know, the robust reporting. You know, just a very quick story here.
I'm waiting for this. We said 1:30, so I'm waiting for this to be done.
So if, sorry, Suzanne, if, you know, in regards to the reporting pieces though, we had a customer that was asking questions about, specifically was about pizza delivery. And it was, why are my orders dropping off at 11 o'clock when I know that's the busy time? Well, it's because people weren't answering the phones. They weren't taking the orders after that time period. So you get that reporting that shows that I'm getting a slam of orders that are coming in, but we weren't accepting the calls. So it really just opens up that visibility, and it opens up the you know, the reporting and the transparency of that. So just quick thoughts there. Go ahead, Clayton.
Yep, very powerful reporting. So one of the new additions to BullsEye's telecom suite is SMS, also known as texting. Texting has usually been reserved for cell phones. That's where most people have gotten exposure to it and most people know it from. But as technology has advanced, we're now able to SMS enable any phone line. So it doesn't matter if it's a POTS line, a VoIP line, a fax line, you can now send and receive SMS messages from that phone number. So imagine your main business phone number that's published, and a customer sending you a text message and asking you, what are your hours today? Or are you back open yet? Or do I need to wear a mask? You can have interaction with your customer without a physical phone call taking place. And studies show that most younger consumers, millennials, prefer to communicate that way. They don't want to make a phone call. They want to text. They're so used to chatting, snapping, and all of those things. That's their preferred form of communication. So texting allows you to do a lot of neat things aside from just sending and receiving basic text messages. It supports pictures. One example of that in real world application, we have a customer that sells auto parts. And if you've ever tried to go to an auto parts store and buy a part, there's those crazy diagrams of all the parts and they're all numbered. And this has afforded them the ability to send that picture to a customer via text. The customer looks at that picture and says, I need number 4, and then they can order it. So it prevents the customer from having to make a trip into the store and provides a much higher level of service. Automatic replies are another big part of it. You can set, as I mentioned, keywords, hours, directions, specials, and if that word is included in the message from the customer, the system will automatically respond with a predetermined message. Vulgarity filter, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. It's a big part of commercializing SMS. We've all had the disgruntled employee or the angry employee who says something inappropriate to a customer at the worst time ever, and the vulgarity filter just prevents that from happening. Scheduled messages, these are great for promotions, any kind of specials you might have. You can schedule those out at a future date and have them automatically send out. Group messaging allows you to build a list of customers based on anything you want. It can be demographic, it can be the previous product they bought, it can be that they haven't ordered in a while, but that list allows you to build a list of multiple customers and then send them messages all at once. So if you wanted to send a promotion to customers who haven't visited you in maybe 6 months, you can do that. Opting out is a industry standard. While SMS isn't very regulated, the FCC has requested that opting out is an option. I'm sure most people have received a text message from a business, and there's always that disclaimer: if you don't want to get these messages anymore, send us stop. And the BullsEye offering supports that, automatically unsubscribing a user who requests that. The way you access the offering is very, very simple. It's web-based. If you have web access on the device, you can get to it. So your PC, your phone, your tablet, anywhere, anytime, you can log in and see messages. And one thing we're very proud of, which we had built with our SMS partner specifically, is what we call our supervisor panel. And that allows a manager or a supervisor to see all the numbers of his employees. So this came to us from a car dealership, and that dealership had a sales manager, and all of the salesmen had SMS on their phone lines to communicate with customers. But in the event that a salesman was out for the day, or the sales manager wanted to check up to make sure that they were doing what they were supposed to, that sales manager has access to view all of the messages sent and received on any lines that are assigned to him as a supervisor in one screen. It's a very, very powerful feature, but something that's not common in the industry, but we're very proud of that feature. And then ultimately automatic replies. That can be, you can set up a time schedule. So if your business closes at 8 p.m., anytime after 8 p.m. when no one's available to respond, the system can send an automatically predefined message. It says, hey, we're closed. We'll see this message in the morning and reply, or hey, we're closed. Please send us another message tomorrow once we reopen. And like I said, please remember, we can enable any phone line you have. It can be a POTS line, it can be a VoIP line. It doesn't even have to be a VoIP line from BullsEye. It can be any VoIP line, any POTS line.
Yeah, I was just going to do a reminder on that. And, you know, I think more and more we're going to be seeing a lot more SMSing going on. Buying online, pick up curbside. That's just, it's going to be more of a, maybe it's a short-term flavor, but it is something that is definitely going to be picking up very quickly. But using also the word quickly is that's something that BullsEye can implement pretty quickly. Pilots for this stuff, just get a hold of your channel manager, your client relationship manager, your account manager, whoever it is that you're working with, depending on who's joining us here today. But getting this piloted and tried out is something that we can do very swiftly for everybody. So pretty interesting technology. Thanks, Clayton.
So UCaaS is a fun acronym that gets tossed around a lot in the telecom industry, and it means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. But realistically, it's the ability to take your number anywhere and to collaborate with coworkers or peers. And it's done usually via what's referred to as a soft phone, which is a software-based phone. That can be on your laptop, your desktop, your cell phone, your tablet, your watch, your smartwatch. There's lots of options out there for soft phone clients. But that allows you to take your number anywhere you go. Your business phone number that normally would only ring in your business can now ring on your cell phone, and you can make and receive calls from that business number like you were at the physical presence where that business's phone is. As far as the collaboration features go, you can screen share, you can chat with your coworkers, you can host conference calls, all from the same app. As well as control your advanced call features. Some of those things we talked about earlier that come with VoIP, like forwarding, voicemail, those disaster recovery numbers, where it rings to, those can all be configured and set up right from those soft phone clients usually. And it's really one location that allows you to have a control panel into your VoIP calling experience. And then ultimately, as I mentioned, chat, and presence. It's something now that we're all working remotely that is amazing option to have. You can have a quick conversation with someone in chat as opposed to having to call them or set up a meeting. And you can also see, are they on the phone? Are they in a meeting? Have they set themselves away and they're at lunch? So you don't disturb them. It'd be kind of like walking up to someone's desk and they're not there, or you walk up and they're on the phone. You can tell that via the app, the soft phone app. So very cool.
I just wanted to add really quick here in regards to the different flavors. BullsEye is we're a broad soft provider. We've been doing VoIP since 2005, so we've got quite a bit of experience with it. We also have some customers that are asking us about Microsoft Teams integration, which we are doing, and it's pretty exciting. So and I think that primarily 90% of the people that are listening to this right now have some form of, either you've been on Microsoft Team meetings before or you're on 7 of them every day. Honestly, I'm on so many of our quarterly business reviews that I'm just asking the question, how many Microsoft Team meetings are you guys on in regards to, leadership, director, and above? And it's between, 3 to 7 of those meetings per day. So BullsEye is now starting to implement that solution, being able to call out to the PSTN. So
yeah.
If you guys have some interest in learning more about that, we can obviously help you out there.
Yeah, that's something we're very excited about. We've been able to integrate what's called direct routing, which is how Teams makes and receives phone calls from the PSTN, or the public phone network. And we can do that with our BroadSoft. So if you're a current BullsEye customer on our VoIP, we can bring that number right into Teams automatically, very, very easily, no porting involved. If you have Teams and you don't have calling, you can bring BullsEye on board to provide that, and we can be your connection in. And then ultimately, kind of as our phase 2 of the product, BullsEye is looking to be able to become a Microsoft partner, and we'll be able to sell you Teams as well. So if you want to purchase Teams and you don't have Office 365 relationship, we can become your vendor for that.
Little sneak peek for a future episode, right?
Absolutely. So Contact Center. This is a new product from BullsEye. we've partnered with TalkDesk, which is pretty much the industry leader, very, very high in the upper right quadrant of most Gartner, Deloitte type reviews. And what a contact center is, to sum it up, is it really brings all of your customer contact points into one location. So think email, phone calls, voicemails, SMS, web contact forms, chatting, all being presented to your employee in one location, one application. So if a customer chats with you via a web chat and then decides tomorrow, well, I'm not at my computer, but I'm at my phone, I'm going to SMS you, that will show the person talking to that customer the web chat from yesterday. So they'll have the context. It keeps track of all of that and combines it and makes it very, very easy to digest, to save for marketing info and future use. But what it really does is it provides a seamless customer experience for your end users. So whether they're contacting you via X way or Y way, the experience is the same. And that's becoming very important in brand recognition and brand loyalty these days. It only takes one negative experience for a customer to make a decision to go somewhere else. So being able to provide that level of service to your customer is super important. Contact centers integrate with VoIP calling. So you bring a VoIP phone number into it, or phone numbers into it, and then you connect to the different resources like an SMS provider, like your web hosting. So those chats and contact forms come in.